Yo, what up, friends? So today I want to talk to you guys about something really cool and really exciting. Over the last couple of days, I've been on stream, both on Twitch and YouTube, and I've been farming a ton of currency. I actually managed to farm up enough currency to buy my Mageblood in about 4 days, and this strategy is absolutely fantastic. Now, a lot of you guys know that I'm a big fan of Blight. I've been enjoying Blight a lot. I've done plenty of videos on it. I enjoy Delve, and I was just looking for something a little bit different to do. A buddy of mine, Reality, and his group of friends were doing some magic finding. My friend's Turtle's doing some magic finding, and a bunch of people are just all magic finding, and they're talking about the wildwood. The wildwood is out of control. It is crazy. Even my buddy Shotokin's just freaking out about how awesome the wildwood is, what the wildwood does, how it works, what's going on, and just how insane it is for you to juice your maps using the wildwood. So I said to Reality, I was like, hey man, you know, you guys are doing all this. Like, I want to get involved. What do I do? How do I do it? You know, what build should I play? X, Y, and Z. And he was like, bro, just find something cool, get some magic find gear, and, you know, let's go. So of course I turned to my trusty thinking brain friend of community Twitch chat, and I was like, guys, tornado, no. And they were like, no. So I started doing some research. I saw the Fulcrum build was back and alive and well. We played it last league. We enjoyed it a whole lot. I swore it was dead, dude. I swore it was dead. I didn't think it'd be good again. I was sorely mistaken. And I saw Tuna was playing it, and a bunch of people were talking about it. So I picked up a Fulcrum. I grabbed some MF gear. I did a video last league that you guys can go check out on the channel where, you know, a couple of you guys suggested the Fulcrum and to play the Fulcrum, and you guys gave me different variations of MF and how to play the Fulcrum. So I went out, I bought me a Fulcrum, I got the gear, Defiance of Destiny dropped, I put it all on, and I just started blowing up maps. Now, my initial way that I started MFing was pretty poor. I wasn't very used to it. I didn't know what to do with the wildwood. I had no idea. And my friends were having a good giggle about it. So I said to them, I was like, well, what do I do? What's the plan? How do I do this? Like, what should I be doing? And they were like, let me give you this awesome strat. Let's walk you through it. Let's start running it. Let's see how you like it. We'll teach you how to make money. And it worked, and it worked good. It worked infinitely better than I thought. I was able to buy a Mageblood. I'm able to get this corrupted ring. I've been able to every day do a farming session, and at the end of the day, buy some obscene crazy ass item. Like, without like thinking or work, I could just buy stuff and do things, and it's been great. Now, this strategy is hard. It requires a little bit of a character that can like sustain and do things, and I'll give you the POB for how I started down below. So if you want to know about the Fulcrum character, there'll be my old POB down below and my current POB, so you can check out the character. And if you want more in-depth on this character and a video guide after you watch this video, you let me know in the comments section, and we'll put together a little like talk about the Fulcrum, how it got started, and so forth and so on. But to stop yapping and to get into it, the strategy works like this. This is our Atlas tree. It's very interesting, it's very basic, it's very simple, it's to the point. We're going to start on the bottom of the tree, and we're going to take the Strongbox nodes, and we're going to come up here, and we're going to take the Legion nodes. Essentially, we just want to juice our maps to have extra guarded packs in our Strongboxes, and we want to have chance for Legion. Coming up over here, we're taking a ton of map duplication nodes and singular focus, and this will make sense in a little bit as we're focusing Burial Chambers as Headhunter is in high demand. Burial Chambers also has the Fortunate card and a lot of really cool things that you'll see when we do a map, just kind of like what's going on. We're going to be taking 7th Gate so that we can take Ambush. We're going to be taking Blue Altars for Quant. Blue Altars also has the Divine. We're going to be taking more Legion chance here and here. And essentially overall, we're just going to be taking one little node down here for Breach. And if you want, you can put in a node or two to kind of just attempt to get Abyss. Abyss is really good as well. Abyss puts out a lot of rares. I sometimes do Abyss, I sometimes don't do Abyss. It really kind of depends on my mood. Abyss kind of slows down your map a little bit, so if you want, you can actually take like a point or two out of map duplication and take Abyss. We're going to take the entire top hat because we want to juice our maps. We're going to be taking the amount of quantity that's dropped from Beyond monsters because they give us a ton of Beyond. We're going to make sure we never spawn the Beyond boss because we want Beyond in the entire map. And we're just going to take merging radius portals here and here. Lastly, we're going to take the big Quant in the middle and the big Quant on the outer edge. A little bit of Harbinger because we don't care so much about this and we don't care about essences, and we're going to take Wandering Path and, you know, just extra quantity of items in a Strongbox. The strat is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. We want to jam League mechanics into our map. We want to jam rares into our map. We want to use Wandering Path to juice the amount of quantity and chance that we see these League mechanics and things that they drop. and we're going to use Wandering Path to duplicate all of our map drops. Now we're duplicating all of our map drops because you eventually want to farm just an absurd amount of 8 mod burial chambers. Now you'll know this is, I have 13 maps here and an entire map here, and maps for me to run down here, and then maps that I have prepped to run. And I do this because I want to run 8 modded burial chambers. I also want to sell 8 modded burial chambers. So you could sell 8 modded burial chambers on the trade website for like 20C a map, 15C a map. You could sell 8 modded burial chambers if you're a fan of TFT on the TFT trade server, and you can go to the 8 mod channel and you could sell maps with a rejects for 20C, maps with a crazy rejects for 35C. And these maps, they just fly off the shelf, and you farm so many of these maps and it is absolutely bonkers. So that's what I've been doing. I've been using, you know, Wandering Path to guarantee that I dupe a bunch of maps, and you'll see we'll run a map together and we'll drop a lot of maps. So we're going to do that with the, we're also going to pair that, I should say, with the maps found on your compass have 8 modded maps or 8 modifiers. So we're going to be using this compass. We talked about Strongboxes, so we're going to want to make all of our Strongboxes corrupted and rare. This works really well with Wandering Path because we don't need to take tamper proof. We're going to make all of our Strongboxes Enraged. Since we're a one-man solo, we don't have a ton of money to really be juicing our maps. We want to do just kind of do this. We're going to take 500% Enraged Strongboxes. And lastly, we're going to be pairing it with Beyond so that we don't have to really roll our maps. We don't really want to roll our maps. We want to run 8 modded maps, or if you can't run 8 modded maps, you want to roll the absolute hardest packed map that you can roll, whether that's just kind of like Alk and Chisel, and Exalted to 6 mods. You roll your map to 6 mods, you reject your map to 6 mod, or you go onto the trade website and buy your own burial chambers, or, you know, you quality them and stuff like that. Now, with my strategy, that Reality gave me, or the strategy that I've been doing, I should say, because it's not really mine, it's like theirs, and, you know, I've been able to farm and sustain my own maps. Like 100%, I'm able to farm, sustain my own maps. I have no trouble at all sustaining my maps. I actually have a rejects for the maps that I run. For the Fulcrum, I know what I run for maps will be very different than what you run. I, you know, go to the POE reject site, I pop in my rejects, I check my maps to blast, I check my maps that I'm farming. You can even see I'm throwing in maps that I've missed to pull out. And even down here, I just constantly get maps that my character can run with 8 mod. I constantly get different things that don't have to worry about, and I can just keep on blasting. The only mapping supplies that I have to buy are going to be the standard Scarabs and the charge compasses. Now, the compasses are expensive. It costs me about, like, maybe close to a divine a map to run, but you make back that money really, really, really easy. So if we look and we pull up the pricing, we can see that charge compasses are, they're priced in Awakened Sextants. I personally hate when people do this. This drives me up a wall. So if you use Awakened POE trade, you can actually hover over online and go to Chaos, and you can see the price of the compass. I've been paying about 140, 145, so they've actually come down a little bit, which is really nice. The Enraged Strongbox compass, this is about 6C. The Enraged compass is about 100, which is really good. And the Beyond is 130. I've been paying more. So keep in mind the prices of these compasses at the time of recording. It is going into the holiday season. I don't know if people are playing. I don't know if people are buying. I don't know what's going on. The prices will fluctuate and the prices will vary. The Carto Scarabs themselves, I buy in bulk for Divines. I pay 1 for 20. Divination are very expensive. I pay 1 for 8, 1 for 7, depending on how fast I need them. Gilded Ambush are 4 for 67. And Gilded Reliquary are 1 for 9. Now, I know there's somebody doing all the math and plugging numbers into an Excel sheet. Yes, the maps are expensive. I do understand. I do agree. The return from each map that you run is pretty massive. It does vary. I can't give you an exact profit per hour or divine per hour because some maps are really good. Some maps are really weird. Some maps have a doctor. Some maps have 10 fortunates. Some maps have just absolutely nothing because you died 10 seconds in. This just, the, you know, how it goes. Now, I have tried to record a couple different takes of the map. Every time I go to record it, I'm like, man, that's not genuine. That's not me. I want to do a map live for you guys. I want to show you guys a map, how it works, and pretty much just kind of like walk you through the map, what's going on, how to do the wildwood, stuff like that. I didn't want to like skip any steps. Now note, this one's going to be like really hard. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, what the hell, right? We die, we die. Now, keep in mind, when you do these maps are hard. You will fail them sometimes, and they are a little rough. Now, I had mentioned we take the blue altars. I've shown you guys the Atlas. My Atlas has the 4 compasses on it. So you have the Corrupted 8 mod, the Enraged Strongbox, the Enraged 500, the Beyond. We have our map here. We're going to scroll down to ambush. We're going to make sure that we have eater on. And then if you want to do any of the master missions, feel free to add master missions. I haven't been doing master missions. I don't know what I want to do. So we're just going to activate this. Now, we're going to go into the wildwood. We're going to go into the map. And we're just going to double check. Same map, same modifiers. Everything looks the same. Same things. We're going to close this so I don't get confused. You're going to see the deli mirror, and you're just going to skip the deli mirror right away, and we're going to go straight into the wildwood. In the wildwood, we're looking for a couple of things. We want to find the wisp because we want to juice our maps using the wildwood. This is what makes our maps nice. This is what makes our maps juicy, and this is what makes them feel really, really, really good. Now, a bunch of people have asked me, what colors do I go for? What colors do I like? What do I want to do? And for me personally, I attempt and try to get as much blue life force or blue wisp as I can. If I can't get blue, I take whatever the game gives me, and I'm just kind of happy. Now, the blue wisp are for currency, the yellow wisp are for quantity, and the purple wisp are for rarity. This little white ball that I just got here, one of them is an extension and one of them is an extension and one of them is just more wisp. I haven't really distinguished which of the two is which yet, but that's just kind of what they do. Now, when I had mentioned I like certain color wisps, I love getting quality wisps or currency wisps, which are the blue ones. And then I like juicing them up a lot with the purple wisp. The currency wisp is so that I can have all my mobs drop a ton of extra currency. And the and the blue wisp, so the blue wisp for currency, and then the purple wisp so that I can convert that currency higher up and get those nice juicy loot explosions. Now, I am not opposed to getting more quantity. Quantity is really good as well. I like quantity a lot. Quantity feels really good to get. So I'm not going to complain about getting a ton of quantity in this video. I would like to find some blue, but I mean, it is what it is. In my ideal world, I would like to get all three of the different wisp types and have a nice split of all the different wisp types. But I'm not going to complain over a map that has 6K in it. By the way, hello, Shodakin. That was him. All right, so now we're gonna hit the deli mirror. And then we're gonna just kind of pop our maps. Now these maps, like I had mentioned, are really hard and they take a minute, but as soon as we get our chain rolling and we start blowing things up, you'll see right away things go really good. Now you'll notice right away we've already gotten 2 maps to spawn. There's another 38 modded map. And we just kind of like take your time, go through these maps. We're not really in a rush. You know, we'd rather go a little bit slower if it means avoid dying. And we just kind of want to, like, you know, blow the map up. I'll tell you, man, this build and doing this never gets old, man. Never gets old. This build is just so fun. And if you're watching this now and you're stunned and you're shook and you want to know more, like I said down below in the comments or down below in the description, I have the old POB that I started with. I'll have this POB, and if you want an understanding or a more in-depth view of how this build works, what it does, just let me know down in the comment section. I'll create a video for you guys. I like this build a lot. I like talking about it. I like where I went with it. My current version at the time of recording right now, I still don't think is done. There are a lot of upgrades that I want to make and a lot of things that I want to change to the build. And overall, like, you know, I'm pretty happy where it is and where it's going. I just, you know, need to keep farming and get more currency. So something I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this entire first floor of this area, and then we're going to talk about the loot on the first floor and how insane everything is. So we're going to detonate that here. We just want to make sure everything dies because we don't want to die. We don't want to get clipped by some random mob. Okay, so over here, blow this up. These Beyond mobs are absolutely terrifying. absolutely terrifying. Oh, nice little map pop. I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked into if people buy other 8-mana maps. I assume they do. I have to actually read this and like not break my character. Oh, rip TS for the poor man to the void. Oh no. All right. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Looks good. Looks good. All right. So I think we've successfully cleared the first floor. Now I know I'm taking a second. Oh, please don't kill me. Now I know I'm taking a second before I finish the rest of the map, but I just kind of want to show you guys how crazy and how much loot actually comes from doing this type of strategy. Okay, let's get rid of this really quick, and then we can like just kind of take a bigger look at this. I personally enjoy looting the different levels, level 1, level 2 of burial chambers as I go, because it's a little sketchy and a little weird. So now we're looking here, and I'm going to loot all this, and I'm just going to show you, I have an extremely strict loot filter on. Extremely strict. If I were to use my regular standard loot filter, you would see there's just a ton of extra loot pretty much all over the place. Just uniques and uniques and uniques and just loot and, you know, all kinds of stuff just pretty much all over the place. And it becomes pretty hard to play. Oh my God, there's so much crap. But I've come to the point where I need a very specific loot table, and you know, I filter out a lot of my loot. So if you're looking for a lot of different random gear, a lot of different random loot too, and you're not on a very strict filter, like you'll find a lot of stuff. You're going to get your mobs that are going to explode for 50, 60, 70 bajillion fusings, bajillions of maps, and overall you're just going to be able to find pretty much everything that you need doing these maps, and you're really going to be able to sustain everything that you want to do. Now, like I said, I have an extremely strict loot filter going into this. I'm only looking for certain things, certain rings, certain items, certain fractures, and you know, I really want you guys to tailor your loot filter to exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you want a link to this loot filter, I will include it in the description list down below. Note, this loot filter is extremely, 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 extremely strict. It might, bro, I was recording, hello? It might actually like hide certain uniques that you're looking for. It might hide things that you want. Please note that if it does, or if you're looking for certain specific things, that it might be in your best interest to go into the loot filter, make a copy of it, edit it, and just kind of like change out what you want for you. You know, if you miss something that you would normally search for, or an item that you want to corrupt, or something very specific, just make sure that you add it yourself to the loot filter, because I don't really want you guys to miss anything, and I would feel terrible if you do. But you know, I'm just letting you know this, when you copy the loot filter, it's, you know, what I'm looking for and what my friends are looking for. So floor 1. So floor 1, we've gotten, you know, tainted fusing, some chaos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, we're just not going to include these maps, right? So even if we sell these for 15C a piece, this is 30, 60, 75, 80. These are expensive, right? These are 45C a piece. So we're at 120. And then, you know, we're pretty much almost up to like the cost of running our map without any big drops. We have the entire second half of the map to go. And this isn't including if you wanted to pick up anything extra, like smaller fusing, smaller jewelers, you know, regrets, scours, all of that stuff that essentially just will like add up. We've only seen, you know, a couple of the boxes. We haven't seen everything else yet. And, you know, there's still just so much more left to go in this map. Now, the crazy thing about this map too is this map has no blue juice at all, and we're still getting a fair decent amount of currency. Now, if we had gotten blue juice, you know, we'd have more currency. Oh my God, another one. You know, we would have more loot that fell. We also haven't seen a ton of altars yet either. We've only seen a couple. So we're really missing a lot of the things that make our maps really good and really juicy. Now, we did manage to get a lot of juice. On average, my maps have about 3,000 juice. This one was definitely a little bit above average in terms of like wildwood juice. So your maps in terms of loot are really going to vary. You're either going to get maps that have a ton of juice in them from the wildwood, and they're going to drop a lot of loot. You're going to get maps that have very little wildwood juice, and you're not going to get a lot of loot at all. I've actually talked to some players who, if they don't get 3,000 or better wildwood juice, will just eat the cost of the map and go next. Me personally, I don't mind running quicker maps, as the wildwood makes your maps harder. They make your maps longer. You can see we're in this map ready for like 9 minutes, but the 9 minutes, keep in mind, is like me talking and yapping and showing you loot and stuff. Your maps will go a lot faster. When I'm doing these maps on my own and I'm not like, when I'm like focused and I'm gaming and I'm playing and I'm not really worried about anything, these maps take me about 7-8 minutes a map. But, you know, sometimes some maps have multiple divines dropping them. Some maps have doctors dropping them. Some maps have 8, 10, 11, 12 fortunates, you know, it's just random. It really comes down to like how much time you invest and stuff like that. And if you're wondering about like in terms of like overall magic find, how much gear I have, stuff like that, I really don't have a lot of magic find gear at all. You know, my character is very basic in terms of what it has. I have right now, I have 40 magic find before I hit the flask. If I can't actually hit the flask because I have too much life. So I have 40 magic find, 36 rarity. Oh, I have the wrong flask on. I don't have my rarity flask on. I do have a phasing flask though. So usually I have about 150 rarity. I have the wrong flask on. I was testing something. I forgot to change out my flask and put my rarity flask back on. So I mean, yeah, that was my fault. Explosions. Oh, it never gets old, man. The only downside to playing this build with the explosions is your computer will do that. So if you choose to play the Fulcrum, just note that your computer may stutter and it may lag and it may freeze up and it may just explode. And yeah. Yeah, pretty much that. All right, so now we got the right flask on. So we have 152 rarity, but you know, it's all good, right? Forbidden Tome, nice. These are expensive. Just want to make sure none of these are Headhunter. You know, that'd be like, oh God, please. Map drops are duped. Okay. And then see, I have 52 quant with the flask up, which the flask is usually always up because we're always taking damage from something. So, you know, a fair bit. Oh, we gotta take, what do we got? Whoa, 2 divines! Yes! Dang! That's the rarity right there. That's the rarity. You see how he also dropped 2 exalts, 2 chaos, and a regal? That's the rarity kicking in. Because the rarity is what kicks up the Calandra loot explosions. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Dang! Another fortunate. Sweet. What a good map. All right, now we'll just clear up a little bit of stragglers. We'll hope we don't just get accidentally clapped. We'll finish up looting the map, and then I'm going to tell you that I usually skip Alira in this map. She is very difficult and pretty hard. I'm not a fan of dying to her over and over and over. I skip her, like, without a doubt. I skip her, and I really recommend that you guys do the same. She's a bit of a pain to do, especially like if Val Breach isn't up. All of my single target comes from Val Breach. I use Val Breach on that pack to clear off all the little stragglers. I would just skip her. Honestly, I would just skip her. I would go next. It just saves you so much time. Loot the currency that comes out of here. Double check to make sure that you're not missing anything, and pretty much just go next and, oh, please. What are these guys doing? We'll grab these, grab this. Should gonna like grab these and see if I get like anything good corruptions on them. And that's it, man. That's the map. Yeah. And then, you know, you just run these for a couple days. They're self-sustaining. You sell the 8 mod maps to make. So pretty much the best way to do this and how to make profit doing this and stuff like that is sell your 8 mod maps, get extra currency, go buy the mapping supplies, and pretty much, you know, kick ass and take names. For now, friends, I'm going to go sell all this stuff, and I'm going to get ready to get this video out to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. So long, friends. Goodbye. Oh, just die. Please, please explode for the end of the video. Please explode. No, please. explode. Thank you. Thumbs up, bros. Later.